I've had a lot of favorite games in the past, such as A Hat in Time, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Cuphead. And now recently, I'd say like a month ago, I've tried an indie 2D platformer that takes a lot of its inspiration from Wario Land 4. And that game is Pizza Tower. I haven't really played the full game through and P-ranked every boss and currently on the track to P-rank every single level. But throughout my entire 50 plus hours of gameplay, I can safely say this game is easily in my top 3 favorite video games of all time. Pizza Tower is, as previously mentioned, a 2D platformer that takes a lot of inspiration from Wario Land 4. But it also changes up things way more, making itself its own identity instead of just being a game heavily inspired by Wario Land. But before I talk about anything else, it's better to talk about our main guy from Peppino's Pizza, Peppino Spaghetti himself. His entire moveset is bonkers. You can obviously walk, jump, and crawl, but then you have a body slam that can crush metal crates, a Mac run to reach high speeds and speed through levels as you become an absolute speed demon as enemies cower in fear knowing that they are about to get run over by a portly, middle-aged Italian man with major anxiety. Shine Spark like in Metroid that you can even shoulder bash out of, turn around mid-Mac run, and more. So yeah, right off the bat you are given a lot to deal with, and it may seem overwhelming at first. But once you learn how to chain along everything and learn how to maintain your speed, it feels so rewarding as hell to just speed through a room without making any stops. But best watch your step and not be reckless with your speed, because you may run into Mr. John Pillar. Yes, that's not a joke, that's his name. And if you hit him, it will start a
pizza time.
Now what is a pizza time, you may be wondering? Well, pizza time is an escape sequence where you need to evacuate the level as quickly as possible before the level crumbles down with you in it. And the song that plays as you're running makes the whole escape sequence much more exhilarating and exciting. And as you run through the level to get back to the entrance, there are these blocks that are not active and then some that are. But once you hit John Pillar and pizza time starts, the ones that weren't active become active and the ones that were active become inactive. And that leads for the escape sequence to have a different route than you originally took. And some pizza times even have a neat gimmick, such as in Refrigerator, Freezerator. During the level, there are these ice blocks that you can't destroy on your first time around, but once you get to the end of the level, you get a pepper pizza. And now during the escape sequence, the ice blocks you passed by can now be destroyed, letting you take your own way back. But if you want to continue going fast but are at the end of the level, during your second playthrough of that level, a pizza portal will appear that you can jump into, and that will start a lap 2. A second lap is just a pizza time again, and you get extra points towards your score. But Jesus, the whiplash you get from the song that plays during the second lap, like this shit straight up rocks. That's another thing I should mention. The music. Oh my god, the music. This is such a key aspect you need to make sure is good to even make a quality project. And my god, did they execute the music perfectly. Some tracks are forgettable and bland, but mostly all of them stick out and have their own tone and atmosphere. Every level's opening screen has little motifs of that level's song, such as Deep Dish 9, Don't Make a Sound, and war. But this game, in my opinion, will be so much better, though, if you played as a little man with a mustache called Gustavo, riding on the back of a rat called Brick. Oh look, they fixed it! Gustavo and Brick are a duo that you can play as in only 2 levels, unfortunately, those being the Pig City and Gnome Forest. But they have a completely different moveset that is as complicated as Peppino's moveset. There were more characters planned that were going to be played as, but unfortunately they were scrapped. Those characters were going to include The Noise and Pepperman. Oh yeah, and that brings me to the boss battles. Normally Peppino wouldn't have health points, but in boss battles he does. And I personally like this decision. The game doesn't want you to rush in and take free damage without consequence. It wants you to think and plan out what move you're going to do. My personal favorite boss is obviously the final boss, which is against the evil Pizza Face. In the beginning of the game, Pizza Face thinks it's a good idea to mess with Peppino by threatening his restaurant with some big piss-off laser. So now he has to reach the top of the tower to stop that laser from being activated and shot towards his beloved restaurant. And now, he is at the top of the tower, after all the hardships he has endured through his way up this tower. And now the final frontier is right in front of him, taking down Pizza Face. We have to throw enemies upwards that Pizza Face drops in order to open his weak spot to hit him. Then after a couple of hits, you reach the second phase, where you find out that an entity called Pizza Head was taking a massive Pizza Face. Turns out he was controlling him throughout the entire game, and now you have to defeat him. He has a variety of moves, such as throwing dynamite across the stage, throwing a giant TV that bounces across the screen, and even pulling a lever to send a barrage of fork knights. And after all of that, there is still one more phase to deal with. You have to fight every previous boss over again, and you think to yourself,
are you serious right now, bro?
But that's when one of the greatest moments in gaming happens. Your normal dash attack and uppercut turn into a pummel on every boss, removing 4 hit points instead of 1. And the music that plays when this phase happens, I swear it has some sort of dopamine that makes you feel invincible. Then after you defeat all the bosses and deliver the final blow to Pizza Head, you realize just how perfect this game is. And after that god tier boss fight, we still have one more level to go. The Crumbling Tower of Pizza. This level is no doubt the easiest level in the game, but that doesn't mean it's not good. Dare I say, this might be one of my favorite levels in the entire game. And after all of that, you are left with the ending credits and cutscene. This game was one hell of a ride. The music is amazing, the art is eye candy, and the gameplay is exhilarating. This game is damn near perfection. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my review on Pizza Tower. Thank you guys for watching.